Welcome to MiSpot, where we balance, heal, and activate who we truly are. You can call me Kiki, and tonight we're celebrating the new moon. No, back it up. We're celebrating the first quarter moon. And welcome to Taurus season. We are saying happy birthday to all the Taurus out there. All right. We got next. we got next. Okay, so like I said, we're celebrating the first quarter moon tonight, and we have officially entered Taurus season. This season is a time of practicality. You could be getting in routine. You could also be finding ways to ground your energy and become more stable, more secure, more grounded in general, but definitely more supported, like whether it's for yourself or if you are aligning with energies that are supporting you or being supportive of you. All right, that is the energy that we are in this season. First quarter moons are times where we could be handling certain challenges and we could be called to increase our confidence. And that's definitely what this season says to me. It says, ground yourself, be very confident in who you are, and be kind of bullish. Bullish, like, digging your heels in, standing your ground, standing on your own 2 feet, standing on business, standing 10 toes down. Like, that's the energy, right? So, in this season, if we are looking to bring manifestations to fruition in areas of material wealth or material possessions, it's also a time just calling us to be patient. Okay, that's the Taurus energy. In the first quarter moon energy, we could be being called to take action because the momentum will start to pick up as we get closer to the full moon. All right, which will actually be next week. Let me give you the calendar. We have, oh, it's not on here. Hold on 1 second. But this, it'll probably be about a week or so away from today. I'll give you the exact date in a second. But like I said, for using our Aura Line planner, this is from 2025, but the information is still great in here when it comes to, being able to define phases and seasons and things of that sort. I do actually use some of the information here to provide educational posts on my Instagram. So if you're looking for, things that allow you to do a quick check-in on, what the energy currently is, what the top transits currently are, then you can go to my Instagram, MiSpot Healing. It's the same handle that we have here on the channel. If you are new here, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. I'd like to send my folks a shout out. I'm looking for my folks. I have a couple of subscribers that I do think about. Three Lorray, Huntress. I know that those are a few that have definitely shown some love. So I hope that you are out there feeling blessed and highly favored. And let me know if this resonates. All right. So first quarter moon, from according to the Aura Line planner, is a time to take action, build momentum, and handle challenges. All right. We also have a definition from our Moonology deck where it calls out the first quarter moon to have keywords of challenges, confidence, and commitment. Okay. And I thought I had one more. I do. My actual Instagram. I have a definition for first quarter moon. It's a time for decisions and action. Definitely in line with or line and in line with the moonology. But it's a time of friction and growth as obstacles arise. Challenges help refine your goals, overcome resistance, and take decisive action. Evaluate your progress and adjust your plans. And it's great for the energy of Taurus season as well, because Taurus season is bringing in an energetic support within the realms of materialism, patience, getting grounded, and enjoying sensory pleasures such as food and relaxation. So, definitely a time for us to love on ourselves, feel confident, recommit to ourselves if necessary. It can be an optimal time for prioritizing rituals, routines, and fostering safe spaces through relationships or in the home. And that definitely resonates for me. Before I get into grounding our energy, just to share what's been happening, I definitely can't say that I've been feeling a lot of challenges. I definitely have been feeling more empowered with embracing challenges. Doesn't mean they're not coming, but it's like we've built this confidence to stand in the face of them and to speak to them, speak back to them, not in a disrespectful, sassy way, but definitely in a way where we're not allowing these obstacles or these challenges to defeat us. We're definitely getting a little bullheaded, using some of that Taurus energy to love on ourselves. I definitely carry Taurus in a high placement in my chart, so I'm pretty sure that some of the energy I'm feeling is coming from that alignment. It's coming from Taurus, giving me a boost when it comes to my healing, when it comes to areas of growth. So I've been able to feel some sense of peace and flow in the energy that we're in. But I'll say that one of the things we definitely want to allow ourselves to do this season is to get grounded. Okay. I definitely have a grounding meditation here on the channel. It's only about 5.5 minutes. It's my very first post. It's called the 5 Minute Medicine Man Meditation. So go check that out. I highly recommend listening to it before you go to bed or once you get in the bed. Just, if you have earphones or earplugs, to put those in and take 5 minutes to listen to that and give me some feedback. Let me know how it feels. Let me know if it puts you to sleep, okay? Or it definitely allows you to decompress and release a lot of the energy that we've picked up throughout the day, allows our minds to relax and definitely be in alignment with the energy of this season and this particular moon phase. Okay? So I hope that resonates. Please let me know. Of course, I'm here to guide us through the darkness as a shaman. I'm also here to be a spiritual coach and someone who can help you stay accountable when it comes to reaching your spiritual goals or your goals, your soul's growth, your soul goals, whatever that means for you, as far as having someone to help hold you accountable. One of the other things that I definitely like to do is to help us reconnect with our financial wealth, our financial well being, and shifting our relationship with money. Okay, a lot of I can guarantee you a lot of any increase, any growth or expansion that I have gained, I can definitely contribute it to healing some major part of my life. A lot of times when we learn to step out on faith, there is a big blessing. And sometimes those blessings come, of course, with either confidence or some boost. But that boost and confidence can also be financial. You can get both. You can get one or the other, you know what I mean, or a nice mixture. But definitely allowing us to change our relationship with money and allowing us to understand that we can connect to wealth, we can connect to, um, just being among those who have earned their leisure, being among those who are embracing entrepreneurship, moving ourselves more into purpose, and basically just executing and doing what it is that we've been called to do and what we are have been birthed into this realm to accomplish. All right. So before I get any deeper, I think that is, yeah, I think I covered everything. Once again, happy birthday to the Taurus out there. And let's just go ahead and ground our energy because you deserve it. So just take this moment to just give yourself a few deep breaths, at least 3. Okay. Confirmation over here is 3. We take things in threes. We see things in threes. Messages come to us in threes, and we allow ourselves to connect with that as confirmation. So let's go ahead and ground our energy by taking a few deep breaths in through the nose and long exhales out through the mouth. Again, nice and deep inhale and long exhales out. Continue to breathe in, breathing in love, and exhaling, releasing fear. And as you continue breathing in deeply, exhaling slowly, with every inhale, allow yourself to breathe in all that you desire: love, peace, overflow. Breathe it in, feel yourself connecting with the energy, and then exhaling all blockages, tension, stress that stop us from feeling the flow and the peace that comes with the energy we desire to manifest. So as you breathe in love, peace, overflow. Connect with that energy, and then we release hatred, lack, frustration. Just continue breathing in and out. Don't forget to let go and release and get more and more relaxed with each exhale. As you continue to breathe in and out, I'll take this time to call in our ancestors, our guardian angels of love, light, connected and closest to the sun. We call you in as we set the intentions under this first quarter moon during this Taurus season to allow us to let go of the challenges, the obstacles, anything that's in our way, blocking us from feeling grounded, secure, and connected to the earth. We thank you in advance for all that you're going to show us this evening. We thank you in advance for the downloads that you continue to give us and the ones that you've shown us in the past. We ask that you guard our hearts, protect us as we open ourselves and open our hearts and minds up to the divine. And connect ourselves back to Mother Earth. Thanking Mother Earth for always being our source of grounding. We feel safe, secure, and fully protected. It is done. And just take your time to slowly bring your awareness back to the room. You can flutter your fingers, wiggle your toes, and slowly open your eyes. So I hope that that felt really, really good. It only takes a minute, but we definitely deserve to give ourselves 3 deep breaths. If we're not breathing, what are we doing, right? If we're not breathing, what are we doing? So we just like to take some time to reconnect to all that is, allow ourselves to give ourselves a moment. And I promise you, the more and more that you do that, the more and more that we ground our energy, the more and more that we learn to take 3 deep breaths, you'll start to realize that when you're going through your day, going through life, you'll realize that when you come across certain energies, you'll be able to not only quickly pick up on what's not in alignment, but you'll be able to respond, not react, respond. Okay, we respond from a place of emotional intelligence, emotional maturity. We respond from a place of overflow. We don't have to react from a place of lack. We don't have to overreact from emotion, getting triggered. And it's not to say that we will never or we aren't triggered. It's just allowing ourselves to understand and connect with peace so that when we come in face with or come face to face with energy that is not bringing us peace, we know how to respond to it. And we can respond to it in a way that's so emotionally mature that it actually shifts the energy, it shifts the dynamic, and it actually causes change. Okay? It actually causes people to respond to you differently. It allows you to reconnect with those that are truly in alignment with us. It allows us to bring in relationships that are reciprocal, and it allows us to just connect with our higher self. When we are vibrating at a higher frequency, we attract a higher frequency. Thank you for the likes. Come on in. You are welcome in this place. Okay. But yeah, we are connecting with energies that are in alignment with us. So when we're vibrating high, we're connecting with energies that are vibrating in high. And I hope that's what you're feeling, because I definitely know Taurus is ruled by the planet Venus. Okay. And Venus, of course, is the planet of love, partnerships, relationships, balancing, harmony, attraction, all those things. And Taurus, of course, being ruled by Venus, allows us to feel that Venetian energy, if you will. I hope that's right. But and so one of those things is those relationships. So I'm hoping that you're feeling like you're in a space where you're nurturing relationships. They could be business relationships, they could be friendships, they could be platonic, they could be um, loving relationships, even, or even relationships with our family. Just a time where we can nurture and start to focus on those relationships in a way that allows us to reconnect on a level where we're giving and receiving what it is that we need in exchange in those relationships. Not transactional, but just in balance, just in alignment. Okay. I hope that that resonates, but it's definitely an energy of that. I can just say for myself, I'm noticing that in the space that I'm in right now, in business, relationships are coming in and they're asking me, how can I support you? They're asking me, and I'll promise you that that actually is because I've learned to say when I need support. So, just to give you an example, I have reached out to a manager of mine, actually 2 of them, and just shared, I knew that they already knew that there was a big workload. And so I was like, instead of getting frustrated about the workload and then complaining about it, let me just say, hey, I have a lot going on and I may need some additional support this week. And so I did that. I just, drafted an email and I actually scheduled it to go out like first thing the next morning. And it just said, hey, and they had already acknowledged that they knew that I was taking on a lot. And so I just shared and just say, hey, I have quite a bit of deliverables this week. So I just want to let you know that I'm working through it, but I may need your support. And your support may not be taking a certain task, although they offered to take a certain task away or take different tasks away, like whatever it was they could take off my plate. But ultimately, it was just if somebody asked, if a client asked, or somebody inquired about something that they may not have seen yet, like a deliverable that hadn't been delivered yet, they could actually speak up and have my back and support me and say, oh, I know she's working on it and she's going to get it to you by the end of the week or something to that effect. Just allowing my managers to know that if someone was to call and inquire about something, they don't have to get all bent out of shape because something's not done. And now that I've actually done that, I actually got a call from my, who I report to directly. And he said, what do you need from me? Is there anything that I can help you with? Because I know you're busy. That was very fulfilling, and I really, just not to pat myself on the back, but, I pride myself that I think I've helped shift his mindset towards how he's responding to me because I was honest with him about what I needed. And of course, he agreed that I had a lot going on. But if I would have waited, not met the deliverables or not provided or did what I needed to do by a certain time frame, and then somebody's all upset because they expected something, and then he's going to come to me and be asking why. And I was able to give him a heads up, so just saying, I hope that you're feeling supported that way, or at least understand that you can expect, manifest, and align with the energies of support. Okay, so just take that in for yourself as you continue to breathe through this evening and listen to this message. Allow yourself to connect with the energy of support. Okay, if you're struggling and you're feeling unsupported or you're not being supported as much as you would like, just allow yourself to ground your energy and know that Mother Earth is always here to support you, always here to ground you. Okay, if you have to go outside barefooted, be careful with that. Make sure you don't get sick. But if you can go outside, walk in the grass barefooted, walk on the beach, reconnecting with water, fire, trees, hugging a tree. Like, don't be afraid to hug a tree, but like maybe just sitting by the water if you have a place where you can do that. Sometimes even taking a spiritual bath. That's something that I definitely like to do. So those are ways that we can just reconnect and ground ourselves when we're feeling unsupported. And I promise you, when you step out on faith, the whole purpose of faith is to be able to take action, or even speaking. Your words are powerful too, but to be able to speak or to take action when it doesn't look like the odds are in your favor. That's when faith really matters. It's easy to have faith when everything's going good and we're feeling good, but it's in the challenges where faith matters the most. It's like, how do you have that mustard seed of faith? Are you able to allow that mustard seed to turn into, something enormous? And I oftentimes I say this in church often, like, people think that, they're waiting on God. They're waiting on God. Thank you, thank you, thank you. People think they're waiting on God when really God is waiting on us. Faith is the substance of things not seen and the evidence of things hoped for. So to me, that says, if it's a substance of things unseen, that means that if I have a vision or a desire, something's pulling or calling on my heart, or it's on my mind. If something is calling me or it's being shown to me, whether it be in a dream, in a vision, whatever it is, some desire of my heart, I would not be able to even envision it if it wasn't something I couldn't achieve, right? So that's what's unseen. It's seen in the spiritual realm. It's seen in the vision. It's not here in the 3D spiritual realm, right? I mean, in the physical realm. Yeah, it's not in the 3D physical realm yet. So when we move or take action or speak in the direction of that vision, that's us stepping out on faith. And a lot of times that's really all God needs us to do. Okay, I don't want to preach, but I just want us to understand that when we can speak to something in the face of the adversity, when we can speak that against that thing, and it's not about lying, it's just calling it for what we see it to be, right? It could be just recognizing a certain energy, recognizing a certain spirit, and understanding the root of it so that we can speak to it in a way where it actually can shift it. That's all. That's all. I hope that that makes sense. Okay, so let's jump into the sky. So, of course, like we're celebrating this first quarter moon. We just had a new moon in Aries last week. It's so funny because these new moons, of course, they're in the same sign as the sun, but they're right at the tail end of the actual season. So I've noticed over the past, I'd say at least 6 months or so, definitely this year, maybe a few months last year at the end of 2025, the moon phases for the new moons have gotten closer and closer to the end of the zodiac season. So saying all that to say, we celebrated a new moon in Aries, and then just a couple of days later, we moved into the sign of Taurus. The sun moved into the sign of Taurus. So, I just see it as more of a very strong blending of those energies, and that's where I know that we are integrating. We're integrating into a new level. We're integrating into another timeline, a higher timeline. There's a shift in the like it's a paradigm shift. Like we're truly taking like a quantum leap. And I know for a fact that this year is doing that for us. It's the year of the number one. It's a year representing new beginnings. And so what's happening is that there are a lot of endings, but endings create new beginnings, right? So of course, in Taurus season, celebrating the first quarter moon. And then this week, as we look into the sky, the two top transits for this week are Venus, the sign of love, relationships, harmony, balance, healing, just all things love, beauty, attraction, is shifting into the sign of Gemini, the sign of communication, mental agility, language. I think of it as all things words, letters. It can also be short trips as well. Okay, social media could be included in that. It's all things about like communication and information, right? And then we also have Uranus, the sign, this planet of sudden shifts, right? You could even think of it as like sudden, like surprises, uh, also shifting into the sign of Gemini. Uranus had actually moved into Gemini. Oh my goodness, I can't remember now. Uranus has a 2 year cycle, a 2 year transit. So basically, it stays in the sign for about 2 years. I'll double check, make sure that I'm not telling you anything wrong. But Uranus can stay in a sign for a couple years at least. And he had already shifted. I'm calling him a he. He gives Uranus gives me a masculine energy for some reason. But if it's feminine for you, that's fine. But Uranus shifted into the sign of Gemini a while ago, and then went into retrograde. And when he retrograded, he shifted all the way back into Taurus season. Hey, hey, hey. It shifted all the way back into Taurus season. And so now that he's gone station direct again, he's no longer going backwards. Now he'll be shifting back into the sign of Gemini. So basically, what Uranus has done has allowed us to go backwards to clear up any residual energetic blockages, any type of low vibrational energy, spirit, whatever, that was stopping us from shifting, stopping us from creating change, embracing change, allowed us to clear up all of that crap. Wherever Taurus is ruling for us, whatever house Taurus rules for us, you could also have planets in the sign of Taurus as well that are being activated under that energy. So we were able to get some time to clear all that up, like I said, Uranus has a kind of a slow moving energy. And then now shifting into Gemini season and allowing communication and information to shift and shift in a way that moves us forward. Okay. So take that energy for yourself and allow yourself to connect with it. You could possibly do a meditation that allows you to see what, like, embrace what that feels like. Embrace what it feels like to have communication that's in flow. Embrace what it feels like to have communication that's has shifted and allowed you to move forward. Allow yourself to connect with the energy of embracing change, positive change. That's something that I think as humans we resist. We like things to kind of stay the same. We can get comfortable in certain situations, and we like things to kind of stay a certain way. Sometimes even if it's toxic, unfortunately. Sometimes, you will choose the devil that we know versus the one that we don't, right? And so sometimes we'll kind of stay stuck in certain things because it's what we know. And that's what we are embracing, is embracing change, recognizing that change is inevitable. Change is one thing that is consistent, and we have to be able to be in flow with it. And that's one of the things that allowed me to really dig into more of these moon celebrations, because when I started to appreciate the phase of the moon, the sign that the moon is in, where that particular sign may rule for my birth chart, or even in general, like, general bell curve astrology, where for the most part you're going to get most people like falling under that umbrella. This has allowed me to really embrace change. It's allowed me to be in flow when things are challenging, and really helped me to grow from what I go through, right? We want to be able to grow through what we go through. And we only really do that when we're challenged. We only really do that when things get uncomfortable. And so I hope that that resonates. I hope that's something that you can appreciate when it comes to shifts, when it comes to change, not being afraid of change, and trying to either hold on to things that are no longer serving us, or, allowing ourselves to settle, or what's the other word? It's like just allowing ourselves to be able to let go, and not control things. That's it. Allowing ourselves, if we truly know that we are divine beings connected to the Most High and here to serve that purpose, then we know that we can't be in control of everything, right? And we have to know when to hold them, when to fold them, when to let go, when to, you know, maybe even give more. Sometimes it's times for us to be able to give. Okay, that's what's going on in the sky and the top transits for the week. So, what was coming up for me this week before I get into the cards? Um, I just took a couple of notes and I'll share those. But the first thing I want to share is spider energy. So, I've been seeing spiders. The weather has been shifting. So, I'm not really sure if they're coming inside the house or outside the house, but I've seen, a couple inside. I've seen some outside, like right at the front door, or like I was going over to my friend's house and there was one at her front door, and I was trying to get him to go back outside, but when I opened the door, he ran in, and I told her, I was like, he just ran the house. She's like, oh, it's fine. You know what I mean? So I appreciated that. Like, I also had a yellow jack, like a bee. I don't want, not a bumblebee, but I guess it's a yellow jack, a bee, a typical bee, pretty large, had gotten in, and like I said, the weather has shifted, but it's not really warm enough. I feel like for these bees, because we got down into the 30s over the last couple of nights, but he was in the house. I don't know how he got in the house, but he was at the window. I couldn't really let him out the screen, so I kind of had to leave him there. And when I came back, he was dead, and so I kind of was like, "Damn," you know what I mean? I didn't want him to die, but just kind of like recognizing that there's a message there. And so for spiders, I'll just share with you what the spider animal spirit means. And I can almost guarantee you that it will resonate with where we are. So, the spider animal spirit is a symbol of creativity, patience, interconnectedness, and the weaving of one's destiny. Across various cultures and spiritual traditions, the spider carries profound meaning tied to life's intricate patterns and the power of manifestation. Some key aspects of the spider spirit is, of course, creativity and craftsmanship, interconnectedness and balance, patience and timing. That patience is a trait or a key word also for Taurus season. Okay, a very patient energy. Destiny and personal power, which is we were talking about, like, what we've been called to do, what we've been assigned to complete here, and shadow and transformation. So that's a big deal too. Um, in shadow work, the spider can reflect hidden fears or the complexities of life. It encourages individuals to confront and transform these aspects into personal growth. I was just saying how we are embracing the challenges because we grow through what we go through. And our challenges, we want to be able to see them as opportunities for growth. So that's in relation to the spider as well. So thank you, Holy Spirit, for that. I also want to go back up to patience and timing. Spiders are patient hunters, waiting for the right moment to act. This teaches the value of timing, persistence, and trusting the process of life. Ta-da! Persistence also gives me that Taurus energy. When I think of a bull, I think of, a bull will stand their ground, right? You're not going to have a bull that's probably going to cower away. A bull is going to, dig his heels in. I've been talking a lot about how this year is the year of the fire horse. So I've been talking a lot about how I get this energy of like a horse, or even you can think of it as even a bull, like just kind of kicking up dust, like just getting ready to take off or to charge. Um, yeah. So that's what I get, like that being bullheaded enough about your destiny, being bullheaded enough about trusting life. That's that releasing, letting go, not being in control, and like knowing when it's in our hands and knowing when we can say when, knowing when it's out of our hands, right? It's above me now, right? It's above me now. So I hope that resonates. Patience and timing, persistence, trusting the process of life. Trust your process, trust the process. I know that's something that Jeezy talks about. I think he had like a t-shirt brand, at least something like that. I've definitely seen him in a t-shirt about trust the process. He might even have an album, something like that. Anyway, patient hunters. I like that. Patient hunters and waiting for the right moment to act. Definitely. That's definitely spider energy. They'll let somebody come get caught up in the weave, or caught up in the web rather, and they'll watch, and they'll let them fight and fight and fight until they tire themselves out, and eventually they are, exhausted to the end of them. And then they go down and roll them up and do what they have to do. There's also that, like I said, that shadow and transformation. Spiders definitely have an energy of like mystery. They have an energy, they can be looked at as kind of spooky. So they represent that shadow and transformation aspect. The transformation part kind of gives me a little bit of the caterpillar and the butterfly. But just to kind of reiterate, in our shadow work, which is why, hey, oh, hey, boo, oh, you needed me. I am here for you. Okay, you can send me an email. Like, listen, we can do like a 30-minute free consultation. There's no like obligation. I would love to just understand how I can support you. Okay. He's about to fall asleep. Okay. Thank you so much for even messaging. I appreciate the love and, just letting the sister know. So I hope that you're feeling blessed, like I said, and highly favored. Okay. And definitely in alignment with the energy. So, but yeah, In shadow work, the spider reflects hidden fears, right? So we've broken through maybe being afraid to speak up for ourselves, maybe being afraid to, say we need support or we're not feeling supported. Some people you may feel intimidated or maybe not so comfortable or confident to go towards our boss, quote unquote, and say that you need support, But I honestly think that that's the paradigm shift. That's the shift. Like, you can be different. You are different. You are unique. And you have the ability, the power, and the know-how and the balls, the kahunas, to do something different, to not do what everybody else is doing, to not do the stereotypical thing. And that's something I'm truly blessed to say, is that I have been able to align and attract a business relationship at this point in my life that I didn't think that I would be able to, I never would have thought that I'll be able to accomplish that at this point. So I feel like it's so early, and so I'm still kind of young to be able to work for a friend who has started his own firm, like that kind of thing. Also, remember how the number 9 came up. Yes, 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 yes. Responsibility. Come on now. Response. I love that. Our ability to ethically respond and act. Yes. So you feeling it. You get it. You get it, boo thing. I appreciate that. Yes. Thank you. Thank you for the confirmation. But yes, so reflecting hidden fears or the complexities of life, just knowing that I always say this too. I say this to my friend who is my principal that I talk, I've known him for 20 years, went to college together, and over 20 years. But just I let him know all the time, what's going on out there is not going on in here. I say that all the time. It's like being in the world, but not of the world. So it's like recognizing that, yeah, with the general public, the general population, most folks, they're on certain things. But over here, that ain't it. Yes, I am studying it. Got a final on ethics and quantum entanglement tomorrow. Yes, I hope you gonna ace that final, boo. Let me know. Please let me know. Let me know you gonna ace that final. Yes. I did take a peek at your YouTube rather. And I saw a campus. I saw some beautiful clouds. I see that you might be like, in a band. So I hope that, you play rugby in your position. Come on, number 9. So speaking of number 9, oh my goodness. So I think I've gotten like 5 different confirmations of angel numbers today. I know I saw 111. I saw 1111 this morning. I saw 111 this afternoon. I also saw 555. Um, Big alignment, and 5s are positive change. So yes, yes, I love it. So I know that we are on the right path. I'm thankful for all the confirmation that we're in alignment. We're tapped in like beyond. So I really, really, really appreciate that. I'm just thankful to everybody and all things, our spiritual teams above that are looking down on us and sending us messages. Okay. Um, oh, there's so much. It's like I said, the downloads just come like so fast sometimes. But this energy is encouraging us to confront and transform the aspects of hidden fears and complexities of life into personal growth. We can mic drop right there. All right. I think that that's perfect. What else do I have? So a couple of notes that I have from the week. Your character is your brand. So that's calling us to be authentic, right? That's calling us to be confident in who we are. And it's giving us a sense of self, like the people pleasing energy we have released. We're just not about that life. It's not about being a jerk or a bi. It's just about, excuse me, recognizing what's above us and what's beneath us. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with us knowing what's above us and what's beneath us. What are we above? Because we are above certain things. There are certain things that are beneath us and way below our frequency. And that's okay. So your character is your brand. That is your message and your confirmation that you can be your authentic self. Okay, the pressure, let me back this up. The pressure is a privilege. The pressure is a privilege. Confirmation of looking at our challenges as opportunities for growth. And we get the life that we believe we deserve. And that's one that like we probably have to sit with, right? I know I have to sit with it. Like we get the life that we think we deserve. So it's like, well, what do we believe we deserve, right? Are we settling for something? Do we deserve more? I think oftentimes from our codependency wounds, which many of us have, our codependency wounds oftentimes have us focus more on like fixing and healing others, when a lot of times we really need to turn that energy within and just allow ourselves to heal and love on ourselves. Allow ourselves to just turn our energy inward. It's easy, especially if you're a healer, if you're empathic, or you just love people and you're, someone who can see beyond, you know, a person's exterior. You can see their heart. You may give people the benefit of the doubt, that kind of thing. But if you're that kind of person where, you just have a love for others or humanity, you're not self-centered and just full of yourself, we tend to sometimes want to fix, or we think that we can heal or change someone like that. No. Only thing that can change a person is them wanting to change. Okay? Just like I always say, I've heard this saying forever. Only thing that will keep a person is a person that want to be kept. It doesn't have anything to do with you when people don't treat us a certain type of way or don't treat us well, or they go do. That's because that's what people are going to ultimately do, what they want to do. Okay. I hate to use this example, but I mean, Jigga cheated on B. I mean, like, let's just be clear. Some people look at her and think that she is like the epitome, and she's great, she's beautiful, and all the things. Um, but she's going through, some things that a lot of regular folks go through, right? With people without the money, people maybe without the looks even. And it's not about that. Y'all know it's not about the all the physical things, but the physical things do play a role. They do balance things out, or help to balance things out here on the earthly realm. But I'm just saying that to say that it's people do what they want to do, and we are not here to change anybody. We let people show you that what they want to change or that they are looking to grow, and then they can meet us where we are. And I had a friend tell me that years ago: allow people to rise up to you. And sometimes that a lot of times people just want to kind of drain and suck your energy. They may see your light, they may see what you're doing, and they want a piece of that, a part of that. That may be something that they may not feel good about within themselves. It could even be your money, it could be the things you've accomplished, it could be your job, it could be anything, it could be your looks, it could be whatever. But there's something about you they admire. They might even really be able to tell you they admire it about you. However, they come over to kind of drain that energy from you. They may even go out in the street and then, kind of say what you say, or sound like you sound, or, come off like you come off, and just try to like just be you, if that makes sense. They will never be you. But just people do those kind of things that can be a little strange. But it's just people oftentimes will see a light in you, and it's not always intentionally to be malicious, but they can see a light in you that they don't really have in themselves, and they come over to kind of drain you of it so that they can go personify it somewhere else. And ultimately, if they're not willing to do the work to do what you've done or to achieve what you've achieved, then you're not going to be in alignment anyway, and it's probably going to be short-lived. So it's just like just recognizing that you have a light, and everybody is not there to steal it, but sometimes we are here to be used, not abused. Used, not abused. Okay, that's we're all, it's like, use me, Lord, right? We're here for God's purpose, to be used for his purpose. And so it's like just allowing ourselves to see that, and then if we are realizing that we're putting too much energy into trying to convince somebody that they should do this or they should do that, turn that energy inward. Recognize when it's time for you to fold them and go within, right? And a lot, like I said, a lot of times when you're a healer, you're naturally loving and you look out for people. You want to see people grow. You like to see people win. Just recognizing that sometimes we have to be able and want to see ourselves win. And it's time to turn that energy inward and focus on ourselves. And before you know it, you've leveled up and you've risen, you know what I mean? Because you've ascended. And now those folks, made those energies, those spirits. Let's focus on the spirit, not the person. It's the spirit, not the person. But those spirits are behind you. And see who rises up. Let them rise up to you. See who's going to meet you where you are. And we go from there. We don't have to stoop. We don't have to stoop. Those days are over. People pleasing, codependent, needing validation from people that don't even matter, or like, yeah, that's over. All right, what else do I have? This is a big one. So this one I could probably do a whole nother session on. But for those of us who have wounds, I've noticed that there are a lot of like womb healers that seem to promote us going backwards, dealing with, and excuse my language, but like dirty, impoverished community dingling. I was gonna say the other word, but I decided to keep it kind of PG-13, I guess. But just be careful when there are a lot of people are embracing more spirituality. A lot of people are embracing, more spiritual practices. You have doulas and people are doing more births at home and things like that. But I've been coming across, at least like on Instagram, I'm seeing womb healers, like people who are helping women basically heal their wombs. Maybe we've laid down with energy that is not good for us. And we're healing that womb space. We're healing our womb, taking back control of our womb space. And what I've been also seeing is they may say, like, just to give you an example, I saw a young lady, she just started popping up on my Instagram in the last probably week or so, but I think I've seen like 2 or 3 of her posts, and she helps females. She makes like detox capsules, yoni steams, those kind of things to just, cleanse your energy when it comes to your womb. And what I'm noticing, what I also saw was like, and maybe it was to be funny, or maybe it was to be catchy or dramatic and get, attention. But it was a young lady, and it was like, me going back to my favorite eater. Sorry, like I said, I hope y'all are hip to what I'm talking about. But going back to my favorite eater, and it's a reel of a young lady putting on her coat and look like she's going back to some body that apparently she left at some point. And it's just kind of like, you have to be careful. I feel like as a spiritual coach, a spiritual healer, just someone who's promoting soul work and soul growth, you have to be careful with putting messages out there like that. I had also witnessed a young lady, I had to stop following her because she was promoting like Hold'em. And if y'all think that I'm tripping, please let me know, because I would love to have the conversation. But she was promoting like, and I mean, if you're embracing your inner hoe, okay, just be honest about that and protect yourself. That's where I think that we missed the boat. People are going to do, like I said, people are going to do what they want to do. But I just think as a womb healer, I would never promote anyone to deal with any low vibrational penis. Sorry, just saying. Like I said, we are above certain things. So when you are above certain things, you ain't doing that. You're not doing that. We lay down with dogs, we get fleas. It's just what it is. That was just something that came up. Yeah, where I'm noticing that like a lot of times we can attract certain energies that just aren't on our level. They're just not. And sometimes we might, like I said, our people pleasing codependent wounds can take us to a place where we may give ourselves to that energy or that spirit or that person, and it's just trash. Or you come to find out that they can't even buy you dinner, like, you know what I mean. And I'm just saying, it happens. It happens. Okay, so I just had that may be a little bit of a sidebar that I can dig into at another time. But just be careful with um healers that are kind of not focusing on you elevating and ascending, kind of giving you an energy where they're letting you, they're telling you it's okay to go backwards, or to just fulfill your flesh, if that makes sense. Just fulfilling your flesh. If it's not our soul's growth, then it's kind of like, what are we doing it for? Okay, I hope that resonates. Oh, another one. This is a good one too. Watch who is supporting you. Pay attention to who is supporting you right now. I was saying a few weeks ago about how who's supporting us might not be who we are looking for support from or want support from, but we are getting it from certain places that we might be overlooking. So pay attention to who is supporting you right now. And then also notice who's in competition. There's a gentleman named Josh. He does like 90-second devotionals. I think it's Josh. Is it Josh Blair? But he does 90-second devotionals. And he was saying they can't learn from you because they're in competition with you. And that's something that I've been able to resonate with in the last, I'd say, few months or so, is that even some of my closest friends, counterparts, there's so much that I'm learning and sharing and want to share. But it's like the ones that I feel like could benefit from it the most, because they're in the closest proximity to me, it's like they almost don't want to hear it. But what it has been doing is allowing me to align with those who are hearing it, and, and nurturing those relationships. Okay. So Josh Blair was saying they cannot learn from you because they're in competition with you. So I don't want to focus on who's not getting it, who's in competition. It's more so just noticing who is supportive, who does get it. Okay. And notice that, unfortunately, some of the ones that are the closest, it could be in competition. I just feel like your friends, your closest friends, your best friends should be rooting us on, telling us to keep going, telling us to keep kicking ass, taking names. Like, I, why wouldn't a friend tell you that? Why wouldn't your friend want you to get the biggest bag? Why wouldn't your friend want you to have all of your dreams come true? Why wouldn't your friend encourage you for that? To that? Why wouldn't, if you're doing something that is allowing you to grow, expand, ascend, enlarge your territory, and just take up more space, and your pockets get fatter too, why wouldn't your friend tell you, damn right, girl, keep fucking going? Like, why would your friend not say that? Right? And sometimes you'll get it from strangers. You can walk down the street and a stranger will tell you, girl, keep doing what you're doing. A stranger. Just saying. I actually saw a meme too not too long ago that said, you couldn't get it from those closest to you, so God sent you strangers. Just saying, paying attention to who's supporting us. All right? That's it. Oh, last one. Releasing economic anxiety. That's the energy I want all of my friends to feel, the releasing of economic anxiety. Like I said earlier, changing our relationship with money, allowing us to connect with a spirit of abundance, overflow, like the windows of heaven are open and just pouring into our lives. We have a right, okay, if that's what you see and desire, we have a right to achieve that. And sometimes I think the world has conditioned us to think a certain way towards money and how to get it. And unfortunately, we've been programmed to think that we have to work harder. I'm not saying don't work. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying that there's a balance. And maybe at this particular time, because timing is important, at this particular time, we are to focus on um a little bit of both, basically. Like maybe we have to work because it's going to pay our bills, but in the part-time hours we're working on our dream, because we know ultimately that's what we're going to be living and manifesting, is that dream, right? That dream will pay our bills, but until our dream can pay our bills, we have to do what we got to do. But we're still connecting with the energy of wealth, we're still connected with the energy of our needs being met, and there's an overflow, there's an abundance, there's space for us to have the leisure that we want, but still be able to be responsible and take care of ourselves. That's what we're connecting with. I really, really hope that that resonates. Like you can truly do what you love to do what you're called to do. Your bills are paid, and you can still have the lifestyle that you want. And as you continue to get wiser in life, as we continue to go to our latter days, those latter days are greater than our former days. See your life as getting better, not getting worse. You know what I mean? We're seeing life to continue to be better. The scripture that says our latter days are greater than our former days. Um, and just releasing any types of anxieties around finances, economics, and just thinking that we're going to be able to be rich or get rich from just working and exchanging time for money. We have to be able to embrace allowing our money to work harder for us. And it may be a sacrifice, right? There may be some things we have to pull back on or not do so that we can put those investments in, so that as we get to those latter days, our money is working harder for us. Because we will never, the rich don't get rich by working 3 jobs. Okay. They do have multiple streams of income, but their money is working for them. And of course, you do have to do what you have to do to acquire those streams of income. But once you got them flowing, then you can get the money to work harder for you. So that's like I said, that's a whole that's stock club conversation. But I'm always going to tie in that financial piece, because my Bible says that we prosper as our souls prosper. Or it actually says, I pray that you prosper as your soul prospers. I pray that you have good health as your soul has good health and wealth. That's that's it. That's all. Bada bing, bada boom. She done. Okay. Let's go ahead and jump into our Moonology deck. I'm so glad y'all are here. All right, Holy Spirit, ancestors of divine love and healing light, please protect us as we download the messages for our best and highest good. Anything that's not for our best and highest good, please close, shut, lock, and block that door in the name above all names. Amen. I'll shuffle this one more time. All right, what we got for? Oh, look, jumped out. Jump out. A personal issue reaches resolution. Full moon in Cancer. This card came out not too long ago as well. A personal issue reaches resolution. Full moon in Cancer. All right, bottom of the deck. Show the world the real you. Full moon in Aquarius. Sometimes I swear the bottom of the deck is supposed to be like the underlying energy, but sometimes I swear it's like this is the energy, right? I'm going to read both of these. Show the world the real you. That's the confirmation of our authenticity. So I'm sure that has both of these have a message for us. So let's jump right on in. Where's my book? Okay. Where are you, book? Oh. All right. So a personal issue reaches resolution. Full moon in Cancer, and show the world the real you. Full moon in Aquarius. So I'll say this. Right, we got blue here on the Cancer. We all Cancer, full moon and Cancer card. We got purple here on the Aquarius, right? And so the Cancer is a water sign. Aquarius is an air sign, but known as the water bearer. You see how on this card she's pouring out like a pail of water, right? I'm sorry, go this way. A pail of water. I forget what they call that thing, but she's a water bearer. That's the sign of Aquarius. Aqua is in the name. So we also got last week emotional energy. And when I think of emotional, it doesn't always mean that we're like in tears or like we're super over the top. It could mean that. Um but to me, it's a confirmation of how we have mastered our emotions. We have learned how to respond. I have so many other words that I could use, but I just don't want to make it like too lengthy. But there's emotional intelligence, emotional maturity. And I was actually talking about this to my neighbor friend. Um, Recognizing when people aren't emotionally stable, right? Like recognizing how to resolve conflict. That's emotional maturity. That's emotional intelligence, right? And we're seeing that in the energies that are attracted to us. So those energies are attracted to our light, but they may value how we deal with our emotions because they may not have those strengths yet, right? And so, but then when we hold them accountable, they may not really know how to respond to that. And so they'll result back to their triggered emotions, their low vibrational emotions, their response or their reaction from places of trauma and hurt. And that's just kind of there is an emotional aspect in all of this. Um I think of the Piscean energy we just came out of as we went into Aries season. And of course, Aries is a fire sign and comes to burn up things. And I truly see it as a balancing act. It has helped to balance out the emotions that are stopping us from moving forward. And now we know better. So now we know better, we're doing better. Let's jump in. I'm also getting the full moon energy is prevalent, important, could be significant. Like I mentioned earlier, we'll have a full moon in Taurus. No, sorry, not Taurus. We'll have a full moon. Who is Taurus's moon sign, sister sign? We just came out of Aries. Aries is Libra, so that should be Scorpio. Scorpio and Taurus, maybe. I think so. Um, so we'll have a full moon in Taurus. Why do I not have that? Hold on, I can tell you real quick. But we should have a full moon in Taurus coming up, and I I keep saying full moon in Taurus, a full moon in Scorpio, as because we're in Taurus season. Yeah, I'm right. Full moon in Scorpio. That will happen on May 1st. Another date of powerful energy. So just expect 2026 to come with this constant like boom, boom, boom of power. It's just like power punches of energy in a good way. Okay, like all that we need. All that we need. So I'd say look forward to this upcoming full moon in Scorpio. It's going to be heavy on transformation, like we talked about even with the spider. And I mentioned how it reminded me of the caterpillar and the butterfly. There's going to be a lot of rebirthing. Okay, death and rebirth is the energy of Scorpio. All right, a personal issue reaches resolution. Full moon in Cancer. Things are likely to get very heated as full moon in Cancer is a super emotional sign. So there could be something of an explosion of feelings around now or surrounding your question. It's important to be sensitive to other people when you pull this card. There are some very fine sensibilities around, so tread carefully as you move towards your goals or dreams. This card indicates an especially feminine time. It also heralds the time to deal with any family issues coming up. Nothing to worry about. It signals a challenge is now coming to an end. This card also suggests both that a domestic matter or private issue will soon come to a head and that it's a great time to move house. The answer to your question lies in being a kind leader. This is the time for you to step up and agree to overcome your insecurities. Attune to the moon. It may be best to move towards what you want in a sideways manner. Additional meanings for this card: meditate to soothe heightened emotions. Don't be clingy. Stop sulking. Have you had enough family time lately? The teaching: the heightened emotions of the moon Cancer combination can't be ignored. However, Cancer is one of the moon's two home signs, along with Taurus. So, astrologically speaking, the moon loves to be in this sign. In fact, she rules Cancer. This means that with this card, there's a sense that all is as it should be, or don't worry, all will soon be well. We recently read this, I promise you. I may put a link, I'll go back and double check, and I'll put a link in the video where this card came up. Sorry, my it wasn't charging. Yeah, I'll put a link into where this card came up last, but it's come out before. So just to run through a couple of confirmations, super emotional, right? There could be an explosion of feelings, and it could be what's coming towards us. Okay, so just get ready. There are folks that are feeling some type of way, and they're going to come to dump a lot of their feelings and emotions on us, and we're better, we're smarter, we're wiser, and we know how to respond. Okay. um it's an important time for us to be sensitive to other people. That's that emotional intelligence, emotional maturity. We know how to respond, we know how to ask for what we need, right? um Tread carefully as we move toward our goals and dreams. That's what Taurus season is calling us to do, right? Focusing on our bag, our material wealth, our earthly possessions. That is what Taurus season is supporting us with. Okay, Taurus is very connected to the earth. It's an earth sign. I'll find out whether it's fixed or whatever, but it's an earth sign. What else? What else? Feminine time. I was talking about that womb work. Okay. The One of the things I wanted to play today was actually a sacral chakra healing in the background. So if you want to be able to fall asleep to that, you can go on YouTube and look for a sacral chakra frequency healing. I recommend bowls, like the sound bowls, but it doesn't have to be sound bowls. It could just be a frequency that's connected to that sacral chakra frequency, and allow yourself to focus on clearing out your womb space, releasing blockages, releasing any actual energy that doesn't serve us, no longer serves us. It could have held us back to some extent, that kind of thing. Okay, so that's confirmation of that womb work, and recognizing that ain't no divine feminine laying down with no dirty dingaling. Okay. Let's see. A challenge is coming to an end. That's this first quarter moons. They are representative of challenges, handling challenges, dealing with obstacles, but it's calling us to be confident. Okay, it's allowing us to recognize that as we move into the full moon, we'll be highlighting things. So we're in flow with the energy. We're in flow with releasing the challenge. That's probably why this energy feels good to us. It doesn't feel bogged down. We don't feel like we're forcing things. We feel like we're in flow and we're able to embrace the challenge. We're up for the challenge. Okay. A domestic matter or private issue is coming to a head. You could be moving, or it could be a good time to move. Okay. Very, very connected to earthly, like I said, earthly possessions. Being a kind leader. Okay. That's us being compassionate, recognizing that everyone's not where we are, recognizing that some folks will mean us well, will be reciprocating our energy, and some may not. It doesn't mean that we have to get bent out of shape or triggered. We just know how to be a compassionate and kind leader. It's time for us to step up and agree to overcome our insecurities. Another confirmation of what we've been talking about. When I was talking about allowing people to rise up to us and not going down, but we're recognizing that we are coming in contact with reciprocal energy, like people on our level who can reciprocate the way that we give. We're feeling fulfilled in those relationships on in any area of our life, right? Business, love, family, you name it. And it tells us to attune to the moon. It might be best that we move towards what we want in a sideways manner. So a lateral move, right? Something on our level. Confirmation. Meditate to soothe heightened emotions. I was sharing that earlier about grounding ourselves. We have a grounding meditation here on the channel, but just recognizing that this is a time of grounding. If you have Taurus in a high, depending on how Taurus shows up in your chart, I'll say, that energy could call you to be really high or it can call you to kind of be low. So if you're already feeling very grounded, you might just want to be able to kind of stay balanced, so you don't feel too heavy and bogged down, right, by earthly things. Don't be clingy, stop sulking so you don't have to feel sorry for yourself. You don't have to feel woe is me. Even if you're not feeling supported, recognizing that you do have the support of your spiritual realm, your spiritual team, and Mother Earth. Mother Earth is always here to support us. Okay. Have we had enough family time? Make sure you're loving on your family, going towards those that you can nurture, relationships. Okay. Cancer loves, feels at home. The moon feels at home in Cancer. So Cancer season could definitely be significant. We won't experience a full moon in Cancer until, look, now I gotta count. Hold on. Capricorn season. So we got some time for that. But I'm definitely getting full moon energy is going to be a big deal. Yeah, don't worry. All will soon be well, or all is as it should be, allowing us to let go when we need to, release control, knowing when to hold them and when to fold them. Let's read Show the World the Real You, Full Moon in Aquarius, which is on the bottom of the deck. All right. Show the world the real you. I'm just going to read it. Okay. I'll show you the card one more time. Aquarius, the water bearer. Aqua. Full moon Aquarius. This card brings the message from the cosmos that you need to detach a little from whatever situation you're asking about. Someone might be keeping you at arm's length right now, but it's not a bad thing. It's important for you to allow life to unfold and progress, even if change seems like a frightening prospect. If you holding yourself back from showing the world the real you, this card reminds you that your unique characteristics are what make you special. In a relationship, are you being too aloof or detached? Go ahead and be yourself in whatever is coming up for you. Attune to the moon. Be aware of your feelings, but also be prepared to move on. Additional meanings for this card: don't lose the beauty and romance of life. You are too much in your head. Get into your heart. A friend needs you. Be there for them. A situation is going to take a very unexpected turn. The teaching: every full moon is a time to release and let go. But the addition of Aquarian energy to mix to the mix triples that message. Aquarius is the opposite of clingy, and pulling this card at any time suggests either you need to let go or someone is thinking they are the ones who need to let go, perhaps of you. What needs to go? What is the right thing to do? Whatever happens next could be highly unconventional or unexpected. Let's run back. Let's run it back, right? Confirmations. Detaching, right? detaching a little, arm's length, right? You may be feeling that way. You may be feeling like we've had to keep people at arm's length. Maybe you felt like people are keeping us at arm's length or keeping you at arm's length. But we got a confirmation that it's important for us to allow life to unfold and trust the process, right? We got that earlier. Trusting the process. Okay? Even if change feels like a frightening prospect. I don't know why they word it like that, but if change sounds scary, another confirmation. Embracing change, knowing when to hold them, when to fold them. If you've been holding yourself back from showing the real you, reminds you that you are unique. We confirmed that earlier too, right? Nobody could be you ever, even if they tried. Promise. And that's what makes us special. If we're in a relationship, are we being too detached or aloof? There's that balancing, but like I said, knowing what's in alignment with us and attracting what's on our level, not going backwards, not stooping down, not settling, not repeating a cycle that we've already seen that doesn't work. That's the confirmation. Go ahead and be yourself in whatever is coming up for you. Be aware of your feelings, but also be prepared to move on. Emotional intelligence, emotional maturity. Okay? Don't lose the beauty and romance of life. Venus energy, Taurus energy. Okay? Are you too much in your head? Get into your heart. That's the place with balance. The heart chakra is a balance of the upper and lower chakras. So always, yes, 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 always get into that heart space. And I think of the heart, just for a second, I think of the heart chakra when I see a green, radiant, like I can't even tell you what stone it is, but I see the heart chakra as a green stone, right? And it radiates this green light, like a energy field going around. I see like green grid lines going all the way around, like all the way out into the ethers. One other thing I think about with the heart space is almost like a yin yang, the yin yang symbol. And I think of it as something that's constantly like turning. And it's a balancing out of loving ourselves and loving others. When to choose ourselves and when it's time to support or be compassionate towards others. I'm getting back to being a hopeless romantic. After my first love, I thought I'd never feel that way again or be that romantic. No, listen, you hear this, that's the purpose, babe. Okay. Love is always the move. Always. We just have to understand when it's time to love ourselves. That's it. Sometimes I don't want to say we can't love somebody more than we love ourselves, but there comes a time where we have to turn that love into ourselves. Exactly. A thin line. Very true. It's a thin line between love and hate. That's a movie, right? It's actually a song too. But yeah. Yeah. I just think of that yin yang. Like, okay, are we gonna turn it to the yin or are we gonna turn it to the yang and we're gonna choose ourselves in a certain situation, or is it a time for us to give and choose to show up for someone else? Okay, that's how I see that heart chakra. It also says a friend needs you, be there for them. That's speaking to me as well. So I think I need to pay attention to that. A situation is going to take a very unexpected turn. I get this emotional, like we're going to get a load of emotions from folks. There's going to be some that's going to be probably very authentic, very genuine, it's going to help to ground our energy or balance things out where it may be something that you've been looking forward to for a while. But it could also be an energy where we're going to have to, it's like a test. We're going to be tested to show what we've learned. And we're going to have to respond based on that wisdom and that discernment that we have gained. Okay? So, like I mentioned, I've been talking about the full moon and how it's going to be significant. And it clearly tells us here every full moon is a time to release and let go. And with Aquarian energy, so the full moon in Aquarius, um, hold on, give me a second. Aquarius, I think, yeah, Aquarius moon sign is Leo. So we'll experience a full moon in Leo. I'm sorry, we'll experience a full moon in Aquarius during Leo season. So what do we say? Capricorn. So Capricorn's a little, of course, later this year, going into next year. Yeah, that's end of December, early January. And then we have Leo season to look forward to as well. Like I said, the whole 2026, that's kind of like the middle of the year and the end of the year. So just expect these shifts. And that Scorpio energy is supportive of those transformations, endings, creating new beginnings. We had last year was a year's number 9. It allowed us to close out cycles. This year kicked off a new cycle. So that you're feeling the integration of what we've learned with that closing out of that year into the number 9 and that snake energy, and we're transitioning into this like fire horse that's like taking off, right? And we're integrating into this next level, this next version of ourselves. All right. Knowing when to let go. It could be us thinking of letting someone go, or someone maybe thinking of letting us go, and recognizing what needs to go and what the right thing to do is. Okay. That's it. Whatever happens next could be highly unconventional or unexpected. I claim that. I really do claim that. I know that I have this expectation. Like it's almost like I know that I'm going to get the confirmation and the validation of what I knew something to be. Sometimes, our intuition screams at us and we don't listen. It will whisper for a while and then it just screams at us, and it's like, I knew that. Like I knew that, right? You may look back and be like, I knew that. Why didn't I listen? Or why did I go against my gut? Why did I ignore that? We've learned that we're not doing that. Like I said, that's why we meditate. That's why we ground ourselves, so we can make sure that we know what it feels like to connect to that grounded, peaceful energy. Peace is priceless. Yep, very priceless. Okay. I'm gonna do so. I thought that the energy might actually be kind of emotional tonight, or like some emotional cards came up. So I have a few decks here. I'm not really sure which one I should probably pull from. I have lately been pulling from the Romance Angels. I really do like this deck. It's very, very encouraging. It's a oracle deck. Uh, then I also have the 5D Lovers Oracle. This is by Spiritual Fusion. I have the Lovers Oracle here as well. Okay, these heart-shaped guidance cards. And I also have Pop of Love deck. So I kind of want to pull one of these because super emotional fucking day. Yes. I definitely, let's do the Lovers Oracle. We've been pulling from the Romance Angels. Let's pull a Lovers Oracle and see. The Spiritual Fusion cards are called Lovers Oracle too, or Lovers Oracle as well. Maybe I'll pull one of those. Let me just shuffle these really quickly because I know it's getting late and we're not too far in, but it's about an hour and a half. But I'm excited. But I just want to get us, so Spirit, just give us a loving message that is encouraging and gives us guidance and direction. Like, what do we need? What do we need? These cards, is something flip over? I gotta see if something flipped. I don't think so. No. Okay, let's keep going. The heart shape makes these kind of like, oh, there we go. Ooh, look at the picture. You gotta be kidding me. Twin flames. Your passion ignites. Ay, ay, ay. I have tried so hard not to talk about twin flames on here because for a bunch of reasons. But here we go. Here we go. Twin flames. Your passion ignites. This, I think, is the unexpected energy. This is where the unexpected emotion is going to come from. The timing may not be right. It may actually be perfect, but that's going to be up to us to discern and listen to our spirit guides. But I'm very thankful, actually. Very, very, very thankful for that to come out. On the bottom of the deck, embrace. Through each other, you find the missing pieces. Let's do a lover's oracle. Ay, 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 ay. Why, God? But I'm not gonna say why. I'm thankful. I'm not gonna say why. But okay. Okay. You you're in control. You are in control. We're gonna shuffle this a couple more times. We're gonna pull one of these lovers oracle. And let's see what happens. Um hmm. Okie dokie smoky. Here we go. Oh, you speak to me through music. I listen to love songs and imagine you here next to me. Listen, bottom of the deck. I have clarity on my higher purpose, and our connection is a part of it. So, could your twin flame be getting some clarity, growing up, going through a spiritual awakening, maybe an ego death? I'm going to leave it there. Okay. Take what resonates, leave the rest for somebody else to appreciate. I love you, but God loves you more. Always go within so you never go without. And over here, we stay connected to the ones who sit high, look low, and see everything. Thank you for coming out. God bless you. Good night. And I'll see you next week. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Okay. Help me get 10 likes on the channel, please. And anything you need to know about me is in the description box. And I'll see you next time. God bless you.